In this video, we're going to cover what you have to know before you stop working and start living on your life savings here in Hawaii, the trade-offs of retiring here versus on the mainland, and the uniquely compelling reason why, despite these financial challenges, retiring here in Hawaii is 100% worth it. Aloha, I'm Daniel, and I'm a certified financial planner and owner of a fee-only financial planning firm based here in Hawaii. If you are new here, please do me a favor and like and subscribe for more videos on retirement planning. Let's start with the obvious. Hawaii is an expensive place to live. The median sale price for a single-family home on Oahu hovers around $1.1 million as of 2025. Utilities cost 3 times the national average, and since most of our food is imported, a retired couple on Oahu might spend around $1,250 a month just on groceries. There are some positives that you should know about. Social Security benefits are exempt from state income tax, and so are most employer-funded pensions. But be aware that distributions from personal retirement accounts like 401ks, 403bs, and traditional IRAs are fully taxable at Hawaii's state income tax rates, which can be as high as 11%. Another positive for retirees is property tax rates, which are very low, and each county offers significant homeowner exemptions for kupuna that increase with age. Despite these positives, though, there are some arguably heavier economic realities that make Hawaii a very challenging place to retire, and that is healthcare access and long-term care costs. While Medicare does, of course, work here, if you're not on Oahu and need a specialist, you may have to fly to Honolulu or even the mainland to get the care that you need. So if that's you, you'll need to make sure you build a travel fund just for medical expenses into your retirement budget. Beyond medical care, you also need to think about long-term care. These costs are staggering. An assisted living facility in Hawaii can cost over $130,000 a year, and a private room in a nursing home can approach $200,000. For those with limited assets, Hawaii's MedQuest or Medicaid program can help with long-term care, but you have to essentially spend down your savings just to qualify. So what does this all add up to? A retired couple who own their home outright can expect to spend at least $100,000 to $120,000 a year for a comfortable lifestyle. Now let's talk about the trade-offs of living here versus on the mainland. I often tell my clients that retiring in Hawaii is possible, but there is a serious trade-off in the form of limiting your discretionary spending and the things you can do in retirement. Don't fall for the misconception that if I can afford to live and work here in Hawaii, I can afford to retire here. One of my clients, let's call him Tom, retired from his government job at 62, and he thought he would only need about 80% of his pre-retirement income, but in the first 3 years of retirement, he actually spent 110% of his previous income. His mistake was not underestimating groceries or utility bills, it was failing to account for lifestyle change in retirement. You see, while he was working, Tom spent 40 to 50 hours in an office, 5 days a week, where he wouldn't spend much money other than gas for his car, lunch, and the occasional happy hour with his coworkers. But once he retired, that all changed. Suddenly, he isn't required to be in the office 5 days a week, and what do a lot of newly minted retirees do once they have their newfound freedom and health? They like to travel. And Tom traveled for those first 3 years, and it was amazing. He toured Asia and Europe with his wife just like they always wanted. He visited his kids on the mainland. He booked last-minute trips to welcome a new grandchild, and he attended 3 weddings. The problem, though, is that he quickly blew through his carefully planned retirement budget and was suddenly feeling really anxious and nervous about failing to accurately anticipate these expenses. Remember, Hawaii is the most isolated population center in the world, and that changes the retirement equation. Travel expenses can add up really quickly. A $1 million portfolio can support a modest and fulfilling lifestyle in Hawaii, especially if you enjoy the beautiful free beaches, surfing or paddleboarding, and don't plan to travel or dine out too excessively. But that same $1 million portfolio on the mainland can stretch your retirement dollars a lot further and actually make you feel wealthier because it allows for more discretionary spending, like traveling multiple times per year, cruises, dining out, or even flying back to Hawaii if you have family here. In many cases, clients can reduce monthly expenses by 30% or more just by relocating. But does that mean that more discretionary spending equals a happier retirement? Not necessarily. The next topic we're going to talk about is why the quality of life doesn't necessarily correlate with spending, and why for a lot of us, retiring in Hawaii despite the financial challenges is 100% worth it. In Hawaii, family is really important. And family isn't necessarily just our relatives, it's our community. And for a lot of us, quality of life and emotional wealth is directly tied to our ohana. Decades of research consistently show that strong relationships are one of the most important factors in long-term happiness and well-being. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies of its kind, found that close relationships, more than wealth or career success, are the strongest predictors of happiness and even physical health as we age. Many people who move away from the islands end up, ironically, feeling like they're on an island. I'm talking about that feeling of isolation and loneliness. People who have deep roots here in Hawaii miss that sense of community and aloha spirit, things they didn't realize they were taking for granted while they were here. And that can literally take years off of your life. After all, Hawaii residents have the longest life expectancy in the country. So if you're choosing between proximity to family and friends and living in paradise, or proximity to family and friends and cost of living, understand that emotional wealth is just as real as financial wealth. The point is that your quality of life doesn't necessarily correlate with your level of spending. It depends on what you define as quality. If quality of life means frequent travel and you don't like the beach and your family and community are all on the mainland, perhaps you might want to rethink retiring in Hawaii. But if quality of life means immersing yourself in Hawaii's amazing community and culture and you love surfing every day, it can definitely work. To wrap things up, retiring in Hawaii can be the best chapter of your life, but only if the numbers really work for you. There is a reason Hawaii residents consistently have the longest life expectancy in the United States. Our connection to our ohana, our active lifestyles, and our sense of community matter really deeply. That's the emotional wealth that I mentioned earlier. The challenge is balancing that priceless wealth with the very real costs of housing, energy, and healthcare. If you can find joy and fulfillment within your budget, embracing the free beauty of our islands instead of expensive travel, then you can definitely make it work. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any comments below. If you found this helpful, again, please do me a favor and like and subscribe. And if you are retiring soon and want a fiduciary fee-only financial planner to help you feel more confident with your plan, schedule a free consultation using the link in the description. I'll see you in the next video.